Recorded Books presents Beyond Self-Care Potato Chips, Choosing Nourishing Self-Care in a Quick Fix Culture by Amber Wardell, narrated by the author.
For Charlie. The rest of the books will be for the kids. This one is for you. Dear reader, as I share my journey of embracing nourishing self-care, I want to be sensitive toward the social dynamics at play. Conversations surrounding self-care cannot be divorced from the broader structures of rampant consumerism, patriarchy, ableism, and prejudice that shape our society. These systems profoundly influence our understanding of self-care, and it is crucial that we confront their impact head-on. Self-care, in its truest form, should be inclusive and accessible to all, but this is an ideal that has not yet been realized. Self-care in many ways remains a privilege rather than a right. It is mostly accessible only to those who have material wealth and resources, who are physically and mentally healthy, and who have an abundance of our most limited human resource: time. Sadly, much of the self-care culture we see in media and online depicts a kind of leisure-class privilege that is simply unreachable by the majority of us. By acknowledging this, we take the first step toward dismantling these structures and working toward a more equitable understanding and practice of self-care. This book pushes against toxic, consumeristic self-care culture that avails itself primarily to the most privileged among us. It emphasizes the kind of real self-care that is accessible to us all because it exists within us all. However, it's important to address up front that when it comes to the intersection of self-care and systems of oppression, my perspective is inherently limited. As a woman, I have firsthand experience of how consumerism, sexism, and misogyny constrain our ability to engage in true self-care. I address many of those constraints head-on in this book, but as an able-bodied white woman with a certain degree of class privilege, I have not lived the experiences necessary to fully comprehend the nuances and depths of how racial issues, poverty, disability, and other challenges may impact self-care. Although I've made every effort to present self-care in a way that is accessible to all, my insights inevitably have been filtered through my own lived experiences and reflect my lack of perspective on how self-care is experienced and expressed in communities outside my own. I invite you to approach this book as a starting point, as an invitation to delve deeper into the complexities of self-care. Engage critically, challenge existing narratives, and actively seek out diverse perspectives. By doing so, we can collectively foster a more inclusive, intersectional, and compassionate understanding of self-care that recognizes and confronts the systems that perpetuate inequality. Amber. Preface. We all know the feeling. Hunger strikes at precisely the wrong time, and you have no choice but to do something about it. You're exhausted, grouchy, and in a hurry, and the thought of preparing a nutritious snack sounds like more trouble than it's worth. So, you take the easy route and dig a grease-covered bag of potato chips out of the pantry instead. You rip open the bag, and before you know it, your desire for another handful of savory goodness leaves you with only the crumbly bits at the bottom of the bag. You look at your salt and oil-covered fingertips, evidence that you did, in fact, just eat, and can't understand why you don't feel full. You consider grabbing another snack, but after tallying up the calories you just inhaled, you think better of it. Besides, break's over anyway. The things that keep you overworked and underwhelmed still need to be done. Maybe next time, you think. Next time, you'll eat something that satisfies. A woman's life is filled with these potato chip moments. We have cravings that need to be satisfied, but satisfaction feels too far away to grasp. We hunger for self-care. We thirst for alone time, taking on new hobbies and learning new things. We wonder if it's time to do something about our mental health. But life is busy with many demands, and who has time for self-care when so many other important things need to be done? We settle for the self-care equivalent of potato chips. We choose things that are quick and easy, but that will not and cannot fulfill. As mothers, we count showers and trips to the grocery store as self-care and wonder why we still feel the constant urge to escape our kids. As working women, we take on more demands than we can handle and call it ambition. Then we wonder why we're burnt out. As wives and partners, we settle for the bare minimum because at least he doesn't cheat, and wonder where our sex drive went. We settle for potato chips here and there and tell ourselves that it's enough, but we never feel full. Much of my time in therapy has focused on my tendency to fill up on the things that can't nourish. People-pleasing, lacking healthy boundaries, making myself small so other people can feel big. These things are as temporarily satisfying and vexingly useless as potato chips. They are behaviors that feel like self-care because they elicit nice things like kindness, acceptance, and approval from others. But just like potato chips, they can't really fulfill. The kindness they earn comes with strings attached. The acceptance and approval come with the condition that we keep sacrificing ourselves or be unceremoniously discarded. They keep us reaching desperately back into the bag for more, hoping to one day get full. My therapist told me that these practices are like self-care potato chips, and I thought of nothing else since. It's hard to get full eating potato chips. You have to eat fistfuls of them to feel any measure of satisfaction. In the same way, self-care that doesn't involve caring deeply and intimately about your essential self will never feel satisfying. When I finally understood this fundamental truth, it completely changed my relationship with self-care. I found real nourishment, the abiding kind that lasts. I found a well of joy that I didn't know existed, and I learned to draw from it whenever I want. I am finally and abundantly full. You can do the same. It takes some work and some unlearning of the patriarchal garbage that has been dumped on us for far too long, but it can be done. All I ask of you is to put down the potato chips. It sounds so easy, yet my own life has shown that it can be so frustratingly hard. How do we learn to reach for something more fulfilling when, since childhood, we have been told that potato chips are all we deserve? The training we received as girls is hard to shake. We spend our childhoods in a world that seems to adore and despise us at the same time. We see images of ourselves, half naked and tanned, everywhere we look. Perfect bodies, perfect boyfriends, perfect lives. We are told that all of this is attainable because being a woman is easy and beautiful. Just drink this calorie-free, fat-free, flavor.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.